Yes, I prepared a memo that I failed to bring this evening, which was giving you all a timeline of what we need to do. We have 65 days from the acceptance of the resignation to fill the position. If we don't fill it in 65 days, county superintendent gets the privilege of appointing someone to do that. Well, we have to do it, and we'll send out the advertisement tomorrow, which will be in the Observer Tribune on Thursday. The advertisement tomorrow, which will be in the Observer Tribune on Thursday. I believe our turnaround time is, we were trying to get it back in before the October 18th meeting, so you could then interview candidates that night, if you chose to. And then if you're satisfied, you could appoint that night, if you chose to. Otherwise, we do have time on the November 15th. That's a tentative date if we need it. And I believe the last date was December 4th or 5th. That we have to make sure we get back.
All within the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Any other new business?
I just wanted to make sure that no one had questions for me regarding that code of conduct question that came up. Was my answer clear to everyone?
Yes. It was certainly clear to her.
Okay.
I thought we had looked at that, when we looked at that policy, we had done it specifically so that we weren't 24/7 district.
We weren't. And we did look at it specifically in that way. And we will continue to do what's in that policy, which is exactly in that policy, that we wanted it so that students can have help when it's available, that we're not 24/7 in terms of when there is not guidance and counseling available to kids. However, the administrative law judge's decision makes it look as if those policies can and should be severely curtailed. We contacted Dave Carroll, we contacted Russ Weiss about that. And at my own roundtables, other superintendents have said they're going to continue with their own policies as is until there's clarification. But you need to know, at least the board members need to know, that there was an incident at each school already this year where we held students to code of conduct regulations, and we just decided to continue with the policy that we've already had, even though those policies, if you read the Daily Record this Sunday, were called into question by the administrative law judge. Okay.
Any other new business?
Are we doing old business?
We did old business before.
Okay, let's hold on.
We did old business before the open to the public, which was before executive session.
All right, make it new.
First page.
I understand that, but Jamie had asked that we move old business up back from last year.
So this is inaccurate then.
So bring it on new business.
All right, new business. I have a question. We had a member of the audience tonight stand up and speak about this item on this list. Special education. Item number 14. West Morris Regional High School District Goals. This was distributed at our board retreat. As far as I'm concerned, we all got copies at the board retreat. Okay. West Morris Regional High School District Goals. We had no member of the public after meeting. The question was raised to me in that session about item 14, decreased district spending on special education. I made a clarifying point that I wrote and read because my pen tonight is black. That my intent is to increase state funding, especially of unfunded state mandates. That was my position. And I would like to know who on this board communicated with her or indirectly to her to communicate that I only supported the first part of the sentence because it was erroneous. And I'm curious to know how it happened because I did not.
So I think you could be jumping to a conclusion, because I don't think initially she said that you said that.
Yes, she did.
No,
She
well,
referenced this
excuse
sheet,
me.
Jackie.
I don't think
I don't think that she's.
She references the exact language.
But this
Because I
sheet,
had it in front of me.
this sheet's been around a long time, as I said that night at that meeting.
But my link to this sheet.
I don't
in that
think she was
manner,
focusing on you necessarily, all right? You chose
I
to,
disagree.
all right, you chose to answer your portion of it, but I don't think that's what she necessarily meant.
Okay, my question is, has anyone here had conversations with any member of the public that would lead them to believe?
I have not.
I don't know.
I didn't even read that thing.
You weren't here, I don't.
I was at the board too.
I know, but I,
Sue, last year, Jamie gave me budget goals for last year's budget. One of them was reduce cost of special education. It was presented at a public meeting. He discussed it at that time. So it's been cited
I
in public
agree.
meetings.
And
This is not something new.
in addition, on our website is posted the presentation, Jackie, that you gave as the Finance Committee that lists about half a dozen items under the title of reductions in special education. Do you recall what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure what you're talking about right now.
Anthony, you know what I'm talking about? Your list of areas, Anthony at least a dozen times repeated that, you know, the cuts are going to be shared equally across all areas, and then he put the categories, and then under each category he had line items, and one of the categories was special education, and under that title lists about a half a dozen areas within special education where expenses
From
will
my
be
total
shown.
list of cuts you're talking about.
Yeah,
Minus
That's
right, which was part of the budget presentation.
But that's after the fact, but this was intent, rather than dealing with the aftermath of how you're going to save money when we said cut across the board. But it's been discussed at many meetings over the last year. This is not something that just came out of the
I
blue
agree.
in the
But
last
there were
month.
words coming out of her mouth that were inaccurate and caused me concern. And I'm questioning how has that process occurred. The logical place to start is here.
Well,
And
I think
so
we're
I'm
going off
asking-
on a tangent to some degree, because the problem is what it is. We don't get funded enough for special education. That's the bottom
understand.
line. And we have economic concerns. And it's really, these are economics that we're
And that's
talking
been my
about.
position, and we need to be proactive and looking for other mechanisms to help
Well,
fund
that's
these
good luck.
kids.
Maybe you can help the governor find some money, because he took it from us. And so it's going to be interesting to
Except we
find.
excluded special ed increases in the 2% cap. It was, from what I understand, it was lobbying to kind of give that an exception to cover us a little bit, but they wouldn't do it. So we're stuck because of what the state has done. It's nothing to do with this board.
No, this board needs to make an awareness to the public that there is a financial constraint coming down the road.
We cut $4 million and still got the
If they read the
failed,
paper, they
so
know.
what does the public know?
Tells us we need to educate more,
Maybe that.
right? So we're proactive.
But when you have a governor telling you to come, vote the budget down, it doesn't help you a lot.
No, okay, no question about that, I know.
Right?
Any other discussion on this, or any other new business? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, public, you don't have a question.
I can open up, you already did twice, I can do it again.
No, I'm good.
Any questions or comments, Mike?
No, I'd like to enter an additional goal onto, no, never mind.
Get long. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Oh, God.
So moved.
I'm so not for the gym.
Don't worry, you look fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?